Hello, Capricorn. This is the Azure Sage Tarot, and today's reading is going to be about you. This is a timeless general reading, and I'm just going to shuffle some cards and see what I've got for you today, Capricorn. I was told by my guides to do the zodiacs. I thought I would be doing only pick a card readings on my channel, but it seems that for now I'm going to do the one reading for the 12 zodiac signs. So yeah, let's jump right into it. I will start by shuffling and getting some cards from the Pro Card deck, and then we'll see. It could be about anything: love, career, relationships, family, goals, yourself, your feelings. Anything is valid in this reading. So what will it be about? It will depend on the cards that the universe will show you. So, Capricorn, I hope you're doing well. And let's see what I've got for you today. So for Capricorn Spirit, the Return as the first card. I'm going to show them to you, don't worry, we have the move. Capricorn, whoa, okay, already. Oh, no, okay, they said together. Oh, I heard together we reign, we rule. Okay, done. Okay. No. So the first card that came out was the Return card. We then had the move pop out. And then we have again, the loop and the snow coming together. The loop has been popping a lot for up till now in the readings I've done. The loop has been here a lot, and I always shuffle before I start a reading. Then I shuffle when I'm doing the reading, and I shuffle after. So I kind of shuffle 2 rounds before, between each reading. One after the last reading, and another time before the reading. So yeah, quite significant, and it's unusual, but they told me that those two cards went together. They want the loop beneath the snow. So like this, and the last card was the float. And as your general overall energy, we have the bubbles. So I think you're moving nonchalantly. I don't know if it's the word in English, but in French there's that word nonchalance, which means to be kind of, well, it's between being easygoing, I would say, or how I perceive the energy right now, between easygoing and indifferent. That's how I feel. It's like you've you're in your home world, I would say, right now. You're in your comfort zone. So it's not to say it's a bad thing, but you're moving slowly, with the move being at the center of your reading. I think you're still in your comfort zone, but you're kind of moving through life. I see waves, but like not powerful waves, just small waves guiding a boat through through life, you know. It's quite interesting, but still there is something from your past that is going to be significant for you. Um, with the return here, it could talk about delays. It could talk about um, someone returning, but generally speaking, the return card we're going to see when once I clarify with the tarot. But generally speaking, the return talks about a part of your past being significant. So maybe there are still lessons to learn from your past, uh, and you know, being significant in the way that it can return to you. I'm not picking up in. I I don't think it's going to be a love reading for the from the energy I get. There could be for a few of you some person, and it doesn't have to be a lover, but it could be a friend or a family member, even a colleague that kind of gives you a message or pops up or have some kind of importance in your life, but like not necessarily being meaningful, but just kind of being there in your life and having an effect on your life in the next few weeks. Um, then we have the loop and the snow. So the loop talks about it can talk about connections, but it often talks about cycles and things repeating and having been repeated a lot of times. And we have the snow. So the snow I associated with winter. So maybe the season winter is important. Like I've heard several winters passed, and yet I am still here. I don't know if it's going to resonate for you, for anybody of you, but like yeah. So that's the words I hear in my head. Many winters have passed, and yet I am still here. So there's kind of a waiting energy going on here. Yeah, waiting in the cold. There's almost a loneliness. Like even though you're in your comfort zone, it's like you feel isolated in some type of way, and maybe that's what's motivating you to move, even though you're in your comfort zone, in your bubble, because the bubble speaks about um, you know, being comfortable enough and being comfortable with your feelings and being at ease and, you know, also cleaning. It can also talk about cleaning and soap, and hygiene, but I think it's not the matter here. Um, but yeah, so maybe you're in that zone, in that bubble of yours, but still isolated from the world in some type of way. You know, you're comfortable in your little home with the little fire going on in your fireplace and looking at the window, seeing the snowflakes fall with some cup of like some tea or some hot chocolate, and you're looking at the window and saying many winters have passed, but yet I still am here. Wow, it's really strong to me. It feels so specific, though. It doesn't feel like it's going to resonate for a lot of you. But maybe there is this signification I can't get. But yeah, and there's the float then. The float is gaining height to change your perspective and see the bigger picture. It also talks about like making things more light, less heavy. So maybe that's what you're trying to do. Maybe you're starting to see how you're stuck in your home, like in your home world, and your whole world, even though it's comfortable, it still feels cold in some way. And there are a lot of it always come back. Maybe you always come back to that feeling, or to that place, that interior feeling of being home, that is good at first, but then you feel cold. And maybe you're trying, like maybe with the float, you're starting to realize how it kind of is, like how it's heavy in some way for you to always come back there. Even though it's good at first, you're isolating yourself from the rest of the world. So we're going to clarify with the Final Fantasy VII Tarot Card Collection by Crimson Sun. But it's really interesting, really nostalgic, and really nostalgic. I mean, like, I mean it, with the return card. So we'll see. We'll start by clarifying the bubbles. That was fast. I didn't even have the time to, but they told me take them. So you have the Nine of Cups and the Three of Cups, and they told me those two went together. So the Nine of Cups and the Three of Cups. So see how this is a picture of, like, it's not a family, but almost a family, not by blood. All friends being happy and together. And we also have the Three of Cups, which is friends celebrating. So I feel like maybe you have with the Nine of Cups, like you wish to have something like that. You wish to have people with you. It's kind of similar energy to, was it Virgo? I don't know, but yeah, there's another sign that had similar energy. Not the same reading, but still similar energy. And we have the Three of Cups here that talks about community, celebration, happiness. Sharing the happiness with people. And then you have the Page of Coins. The Page of Coins is a messenger that brings a solid offer, but it also needs to kind of, like, it's a page, so it's curious. It's starting. It's starting its journey. It's starting somewhere. So I feel like it's your quest. Your quest to look for. How we see her. She's looking. She's looking ahead. And I think you're looking for something. You're looking for that comfort, but you're looking to bring people into that comfort zone of yours. I think, to warm things up, to make them more, to make, like, more warm actually. But there's a question, like, that I ask myself is, since the beginning, is how does the return card, like, what does this nostalgia has to do with it? Whoa. You're having your cards really quick, Capricorn. Like, really, really quickly. So first card was the Nine of Wands in the reverse. We have the Strength. And we have the Seven of Cups. So, okay. There's a part of your past that had been really, really tiring. That's what I feel. That had been really, really tiring, and that really required a lot of strength out of you. It actually made you grow strong, but like a lot stronger, and made you realize your own inner strength and independence. But it still leaves you with some kind of confusion. It's like you realized what you could achieve, and what you could do on your own and how you didn't need anybody. And maybe that's what pushed you into that self isolating energy where you kind of just, um, you know, did your own thing, trying to figure out where you wanted to invest your energy. And without even realizing it, like time passed, and each time, like I really think winter is significant in some way for some of you, but I don't know why. But like then you realize how much time has passed and how you don't seem to have moved a lot. So maybe the past is important because you need to remember, like, maybe you need to remember your strength, or maybe you remember why in the first place you don't allow people in your bubble. And that in turn gives you a lot of confusion. Yeah. The return card feels both nostalgic, but also blurry in some type of way. I'm trying to read the energy right now, and it's kind of foggy. Um, it's really interesting. So I can't get any more messages. It's like it became completely silent in my head. So I think I'm going to move on to the move card. So what about the move card though? What is the move about? Spirit for Capricorns. I heard Capriccio. For those of you playing music and who knows what a Capriccio is. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. It should be Capriccio, isn't it? Capriccio. I think, but I'm not sure. So what's the move about? Four of Coins. So yeah, keeping to yourself, trying to get a like stability in your life. Okay, they're telling me no more, no more. So no more cards. So yeah, the Four of Coins coming up right. So I think with that card and the move, I think you're kind of encouraged to move away from that feeling of restraint and keeping everything to yourself. It's not like you're not in a selfish energy per se. You're just trying to, like your focus is just elsewhere, and like it's because you've been keeping everything to yourself. Maybe even how you feel, and in some way maybe that's what pushes people away, or maybe that's why because you don't feel bound to people emotionally because you don't share your emotions with anyone. Maybe there's something about that. You're trying to cultivate something that will an environment that will be secure, and I think you've realized that you have that, but it still feels cold in some way, or alone, isolated in some way, and you're wondering why it feels so isolated. So, well, we'll see what we can get about that winter and loop duo. What can we get about that? Spirit. Your reading is pretty straightforward, even though it's kind of fuzzy at some points. Um, it's really straightforward, and the cards are coming right up. Well, right up. Kind of. There are some readings I made that I was shuffling for like minutes, I think. No, I'm not sure, but for a long time for sure. So, if you're curious, it's the Page of Wands that came out in the reverse. So I'm lacking that desire for adventure, or having it but not taking the risk to go on that adventure. Staying home, in fact, staying in the cold, staying in the wintry slopes. So we have a lot of cards, but they told me to take them all. And it goes like this, they told me. Okay. So first we have the Page of Wands in the reverse. Then we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse and the Fool in the reverse. So, I mean, basically every card about moving, like taking a leap of faith, going towards objective, going towards your adventurous side are all in reverse. Then we have the Ten of Coins upright though, and the Sun upright. So I see what's happening right now. You like maybe you feel like you have a lot right now. You feel like you have a lot. You have that home, like the analogy I was talking about earlier. You have that home, and you have like you can take your little cup of tea and it's comfortable, and you feel like you have, like, materially speaking, you have some stability, you have your maybe a job or a passion, a hobby. Like, I mean, you have something that is tending to your needs, and you're happy, but still it feels cold. um I think you want, or so that's the first case. You already have it, but you feel still like there's something missing, and but you're not taking any kind of leap to go towards what's missing. Maybe you don't even realize what exactly is missing because you're like, oh, I already have so much. Why would I want to go after other things, you know? If that's not the case, if you're not feeling like you have already a lot, maybe you want that. You want to have a legacy. You want to achieve the Ten of Pentacles. You want to have something, like you want to have it all, you know, and have long-term stability. And you want to be like really happy and really joyful and like dancing and having fun in life. But you're still kept always one step away from it, but the step away from it is you making the first step. Actually, it's you going out of this cycle and leaving that cycle of always coming back to your own comfort zone behind, and actually taking a risk, actually going with the Page of Wands upright, taking a risk and going on this adventure, um, taking a leap of faith, and knowing the world will and the universe will catch you, to have this passionate start, you know. But if you do nothing, it will be forever away from you. The first thing is to find something you're passionate about and to find an adventure to go on. Like to go on into, like go on an adventure and have that passion, to that desire to explore something. It could be a relationship, it could be a passion, a goal, objective, any kind of things. It could be as simple as reading a book and then taking that adventure and taking, like, you know, taking the leap of faith and having that strong passionate beginning to that will escalate into having it all: happiness, joy, and financial stability, wealth, and legacy, family, house, everything. So yeah, it's really straightforward. Actually, I can't say it enough. you want, like, I think for most of you, you want more than what life offers you right now, but you don't seem to know what you could want more or how to get more. But the reason is, or what, yeah, what could I want? Like bounds? Yeah, but do I really need those people? Do I really need those bounds? Do I really need to invest in them? That much? I don't think you don't have friends, Capricorn. I think you have friends. I think they're just outside your door, you know? You're in your house and you're like, I've got friends. Why would I want more? I've got people in my life I care about, but why would I want more than that? Why don't I feel like it's warm inside, even though I've got this fire going in my fireplace, you know? And I think it's because you have friends, but you don't have the emotional bound with anyone. Or maybe you have, but it's maybe superficial in some way, not as deep as your heart would want it to be. So what about the floats, Spirit? We've already had one card pop out. Oh. Yeah, okay. So we have the Seven of Swords coming up upright under the float. And we have the Six of Coins in the reverse. So yeah, you're going to get back what you invest. If you're being too selfish in some way, if you're being too guarded in some way, well, the universe is going to be guarded with you, and you're going to be, oh, Sage, duh, it's obvious. But I think you don't see, because we have at the bottom of the deck, you don't see with the Eight of Swords how you're actually doing that, how you're actually preventing yourself or preventing people from being bound with you emotionally. Maybe there are subconscious fears here, or unrational fears here, or just guards, walls that have been built up. Because under that, we have the Two of Cups, you know. We have the Two of Cups, like, whoops. You want it, but you can't see it. She has the blindfold a blindfold on. She can't see it. She can't see how she would get that. But she can't see either how she wouldn't get that. And after that, we have the Seven of Coins, but it's in the reverse, so you're not investing enough. You know, you're not actually moving towards that. So it's normal you don't get this investment. If you're not invested emotionally in someone, you won't get an emotional investment in return. Or the chances that you have and that you feel like it's good uh, is, or like the chances that you have actually a good emotional bond with someone, if you don't invest yourself emotionally, like, isn't great. Because they can, while the other person or the other people can be invested in you emotionally. If you don't invest yourself in return, you won't feel the bound, you know? It's an exchange of energy, an equal give and take. But I think I think you're kind of, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, but I think you're kind of lying to yourself in some way. I think you're thinking the problem comes from the way others interact and not from you, but actually it's you that has the missing piece of the puzzle, that has the missing um, that the power to change your situation. Actually, maybe you're telling yourself that you can't do anything more, but the truth is you could do so much more. And be careful not to change the polarity of this energy and being overgiving instead of overtaking, or not giving enough. But I don't think you're hurting people. I don't think you're hurting people with selfishness. I think you just don't see how you're not invested enough in order to receive the emotional bounds you would want to have. And you're like, but I work hard on myself and I work hard on our connections, but you don't invest yourself emotionally. You invest your time, yes, you invest your patience, yes, but you don't invest your feelings. And relationships aren't jobs. So it's not exactly the same thing. There are things we need to feel, there are things we need um, to share too if we want to develop some kind of bounds, because when you share an emotional bond to someone, you share happiness but also sadness. You share laughter and tears. You share pain and joy, you know? I know it's obvious, but maybe you should you should realize with the float, you should realize how you're keeping yourself from having such bounds with people. If you desire to have those kind of bounds. Yeah. So I think I'm going the to take the alchemy flower oracle, and we're going to get some advice for you, Capricorn. What advice do we have, spirits, for Capricorn? Ooh, okay. I like that. it, it makes your reading a little shorter, I think. Well, it will make it a little shorter, I think, but still, um, your cards are like, coming out really easily and quickly. So we have first up, we have hope and love. I really like this flower. So hope and love is, I hope you have and you deserve love. It's not because you don't feel emotionally bound to anyone or that you find it difficult to feel bound to people, that you aren't deserving of love or that you won't be able to find love. There is hope in love, even though there are many winters you spent alone. Maybe for some of you it's like each winter there is, I don't know you know if you celebrate Christmas during the winter holidays, but for some of you, maybe you celebrate Christmas and then everybody is reminding you how you're single. It happens for a lot of us. So maybe that's the thing with there are several winters that have passed, but I'm still here. Message that I had earlier. But yeah, there is still hope in love. You just have to believe in, but you also have to invest yourself in. And yeah, I don't know what I wanted to add. I lost my train of thought. We also have fertility. So yes, there are opportunity coming and you've worked on yourself. So you are fertile. You have so much to give into a relationship, but a fertile ground won't be able to grow flowers if it's not irrigated with water. And here you're Capricorn, so you're an earth sign. So you've got all those resources, all those nutrients inside of you because you've worked so hard to be your beautiful self. But if you don't put any kind of water, well, there won't be life. There can't be life without water. And water is associated with emotions. So if you don't put emotions, even though the soil is fertile, even though your soil is fertile, you won't be able to grow those pretty lilies, those pretty flowers. And then we have love in the mist, which is confusion. So I think you're a little bit, maybe take 2 minutes, take two. I think you could be confused. Maybe I am confusing you. I hope I do not. But maybe you're confused about your situation and how you're going to finally find someone. Maybe you don't see how things can change, because everything is so stable, and maybe that's why you're trying to move, because you don't see anything changing in your surroundings. And it's true, a Capricorn, if we keep doing the same thing, we're going to get the same results. So so like, take some time to analyze, well, not analyze, I don't want to say analyze, but like, think how you can invest yourself in other ways. You already invest yourself so much in many spheres of your life, but how can you invest your time and energy in other ways that could help you develop new relationships or new projects? And at the bottom of the deck, we have lasting affection. So you're able, I think, universe is saying you're able to create lasting affection, and you're able to sustain that with the beautiful person that you are. But it all comes back to the same thing. Lasting affection, it's like a lasting love. If you don't work through it, you won't be able, like, if you don't work through the hardships, you won't be able to sustain it, you know? And you are a hard worker, and I can see that even in the cards. You are a hard worker, a really hard worker, so you're going to be able to do that. But there lacks a little bit of irrigation, a little bit of flow of water, of emotions and feelings. And vulnerability, maybe it's something that scares you. Maybe being vulnerable scares you because you can be hurt, and you can't control that kind of, you can't control what a person having access to you in that emotional way can do to you. You know what I mean? Because you probably already know that you can't control someone else's action. So maybe that's what's scaring you, but just take it one step at a time, Capricorn. Everything's going to be fine and all right. In the end, you're going to be able to have that love. Remember, there is hope, and you're not going to be stuck in that winter for your life. You just need to learn how to trust people enough to be able to open yourself and be vulnerable with them in an emotional and, like, feeling full. I just made up a word, but like in a feeling full way, a mix of feeling and meaningful. Wow, such a jokester this stage, huh? But yeah, I think you know what I mean. So I think I'm going to end your reading there, Capricorn. It was really my pleasure to read your cards. I hope something resonated, and I hope you enjoyed this reading. I wish you a beautiful day or night whenever you're watching, and I surely hope to see you again soon. Bye!